Hello and welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all having a good day so far. Now, for this video, we're going to be talking about the top 5 overpowered quirks in My Hero Academia. For a quirk to be considered on this list, I have only one requirement and one alone. They have to be completely broken. I mean, they have to be so ridiculous that they should just be considered a hack at this point. I know this show is about superpowers, so the expectation going in for most people is to see some over-the-top DC meets Marvel Universe type shenanigans. But as you're about to see, the quirks on this list have no reason being considered just a byproduct of human evolution, and in my humble opinion, should be considered acts of God. Okay, so before I go on with the list, I just want to say, in case you can't understand my accent, I have subtitles available, so you can just go right ahead and click that little subtitle button in the bottom of the screen there, and then you'll be able to understand what I'm saying. Okay, on with the video. First on the list, and spoiler alert, we have the quirk of the man who's too fast for his own good, Fierce Wings. Now, for all you anime scum who aren't caught up with the manga, all you need to know about Hawks is that he's a freaking badass. Hawks first appears in issue 184 of the manga titled JP Hero Billboard Chart, where he was ranked as the number 2 hero in Japan behind Endeavor. He's incredibly intelligent and just an all-around cool guy. Fun fact, Hawks is also the fastest hero currently in the My Hero Academia universe and a personal favorite of mine. Fierce Wings allows its user to control the individual feathers of their wings with their mind. Now I know what you're thinking. He can control feathers with his mind, so what? If I could control a bunch of chicken feathers with my mind, that wouldn't make me one of the top 5 most powerful heroes in the My Hero Academia universe. It wouldn't even make me one of the top 5 most powerful heroes in Sky High. But no, you will be terribly mistaken if you left with that conclusion. You see, Hawk's feathers aren't like ordinary chicken feathers. Each individual feather is strong enough to lift a fully grown human adult. They are so strong and fast in fact that Hawks was able to clear the debris of a falling building by himself using only the feathers of his wing. He was also able to simultaneously save 74 civilians because get this, his quirk allows him to sense vibrations in the air, letting him feel the presence of everyone around him and also to hear things happening miles away. Combine this with Hawk's terrifying intelligence and the fact that the wings of his feathers are basically small knives. This means Hawks would easily be able to take out an entire army by himself, similar to what Minato did to 1000 shinobi in the Third Great Shinobi War. In addition to this, Hawks is also able to use his long feathers as swords, using them to cut through opponents at lightning speeds. He was easily able to take out 2 superpowered no moves by himself and showcase his amazing speed when he dodged an attack from high end, a superpowered no move that used Endeavor as a battering ram through several buildings. Currently, Hawks is acting as a double agent for the Hero Public Safety Commission by spying on the League of Villains to get intel on their organization. One thing is for sure, we have not seen the full extent of Fierce Wings' capability, and I'm really looking forward to how Horikoshi will evolve Hawks in the future. Next on the list, we have Shizaki's quirk, Overhaul. Now, Shizaki has already appeared in the anime of My Hero Academia, so I don't think I need to go too in depth introducing him, but for those of you who haven't seen him in the show yet, Shizaki basically has the power to control and manipulate all matter. Let me repeat that for those of you in the back. He has the ability to control and manipulate all matter. What this means is, Shizaki is basically able to control life and death, like some type of twisted anime Jesus. Overhaul, please don't disassemble me, has the ability to disassemble and reassemble anything living or non-living. This means he can destroy people down to just a pile of guts, but then also put them back together. We've seen countless demonstrations of this, such as when Rapper was telling the story of how he joined the Yakuza and mentioned that Overhaul had killed him and brought him back to life 5 times. He can heal injuries, change the shape of buildings and structures, and even fuse himself with other people, then use their quirk ability. Now I don't know about Yufa, but that's just completely terrifying. With this insane ability and also his terrifying intelligence, Shizaki was able to defeat the Million, Cyanide Eye, and would have easily defeated Midoriya, who was using 20% of One for All, if Eri hadn't saved him. The only thing limiting his quirk is that his hands have to be in contact with whatever he wants to manipulate, and the range of this manipulation is limited. But if this restriction was ever overcome through some type of quirk evolution, Shizaki will basically become the god of My Hero Academia, possessing similar abilities to that of Dr. Manhattan. That's what makes Overhaul a truly terrifying quirk. Number 3 on this list is Shigaraki Tomura's Decay. Again, sorry for the spoilers for all the anime scum watching this. Psst, I'm not really sorry. But for those of you who follow the manga, you already know that Tomura Shigaraki is way stronger than he currently is in the anime. So strong that it's just insane. At this point, it would be more accurate to call him a god of destruction. His backstory was finally revealed and we found out what really happened to his family. And you guessed it folks, he killed them, and with a big smile on his face too. Look at that adorable little monster. From the flashbacks we've seen so far, many fans of the show including myself thought that he killed them because of some type of freak accident where his quirk activated because he wasn't able to control it. And although that was the catalyst, we've come to find out that he actually killed them because he enjoyed it and because he has always been compelled to destroy. You know that itch he's always scratching? Turns out that was an itch he had because because he wasn't constantly eradicating everything around him. I don't know if that's just simply awesome or if I should be terrified for Izuku and all the other students at UA. After training with Gigantomachia, Tomura was able to further evolve his quirk and is now able to decay things without touching them. This is because, and get this, his quirk propagates like a virus, and anything that is connected to anything he has touched begins to decay. Feeling terrified? That's not all. Tomura now has the ability to level an entire city just by touching the ground. With this ability, Tomura was able to subjugate the Quirk Liberation Army and Gigantomachia, who Gran Torino described as a walking disaster. Currently up to chapter 254 of the manga, Tomura is currently undergoing a 4-month transformation that will enhance his quirk and also give him the ability to absorb other quirks. It's safe to say that the heroes will have their hands full dealing with this walking disaster in the future. For number 2 on this list, we have the god of anarchy and chaos, the manipulator, the man who laughs in the face of your ideals, the man who scoffs at your heroic ambitions and reminds you what a worthless, hypocritic, weak mess you are. The main antagonist of this story that has been a bane to the hero society for over 100 years, just pure evil. The devil himself would run away in terror. All for one. All for one's quirk is the simplest to understand, but you'd be a fool if you thought that made it weak. All for One is basically able to steal the quirks of others and transfer it to anyone he wishes. This means All for One can basically never lose a quirk versus quirk fight because he will just steal the ability of the other person and then kill them with it. In fact, the only reason All Might was able to defeat All for One in the first place is because One for All cannot be stolen from its user without its user's express consent. This, however, didn't help the previous users of One for All because he just overpowered and killed them. All for One was able to use his quirk to conquer the underworld of Japan because none could oppose him. He also gave other people quirks which made them fiercely loyal to him. All for One's quirk has enabled him to survive fatal injuries, and as far as we know, the dude is basically immortal. Gran Torino said that All for One has been around for over 100 years and he is still going strong as one of the most powerful people out there. The only reason Overhaul and the Yakuza came out of hiding is because All for One was put away after he lost to All Might. I don't think anyone would argue when I say this guy truly gave me chills, and I'm honestly excited to see all the twisted plans he has for the Hero Society in the future. At the number 1 spot, we have the quirk of the symbol of peace, passed down through generations to give hope to the masses and to turn nerdy scrawny boys into thick boys. One for All. Now, as many of you may know, One for All was passed down from All for One's brother and is currently sitting with the 9th successor, Izuku Midoriya. This quirk was initially created when All for One gave his brother a quirk that allowed him to store power within himself because he didn't like how weak his brother was. Unknowingly to All for One, his brother already had a quirk which allowed him to give his quirk to someone else. All for One's brother always loved justice, so he was always looking for a way to defeat One for All. When he tried but failed to do this, he decided to give his power to someone else with the hope that they will be able to accomplish what he couldn't. Because this power has now been passed down through 8 subsequent users through the years, it has been accumulating power and is now strong enough to grant its users superhuman speed, strength, durability, and spoilers, it can also grant the ability to use the quirk of previous users of One for All. If you have read the latest issues of the manga, you will know that on top of having similar or even greater levels of strength than All Might, Deku is now able to use Black Whip, the quirk of a previous user of One for All. Deku is now able to defeat fully grown superpowered villains like Muscular and Gentle by himself, and can also create wind cannons with just the force of a fingertip. Deku even said that if All Might was constantly using the full power of One for All, he would be creating windstorms with every step he took, and with the quirk being passed on to Deku, it should be in theory stronger than it ever was with All Might. One thing is for sure, Deku will become a great hero in the future, but with the gods of destruction and chaos lurking around the corner, he's going to need all the help he can get. Okay guys, that was my short list for the top 5 overpowered quirks in My Hero Academia. Thank you for watching. But before we go, I just wanted to bring up some honorable mention. First, we have Endeavor's Hell Flame. Now, the reason why it wasn't included in the top 5 overpowered quirks is because I feel most people are already familiar with it, and I wanted to bring you guys some new information. This quirk basically allows him to reduce flames that are super hot as flames are, and he can burn opponents but also levitate. While he was using his quirk versus High End, he wasn't able to dodge High End's attacks. Hawks was able to dodge High End's attacks, which is why I put Hawk's quirk above Endeavor's. And also because Hawk's quirk is more versatile. He can use it for other things like carrying people, and he saved 74 civilians by himself. That's why Hawk's is above Hellflame. And I didn't include Ares Windwind either because it isn't fully developed yet and she doesn't know how to control it. I also didn't include Lemillion's Permeation because, as you all know, Lemillion's quirk is only strong because Lemillion himself is strong. He had to train for a really long time to get that quirk up to a point where he could really use it to defeat villain, which is why Lemillion's dad didn't become a superhero, so that's why it's not included. Another quirk on this list that I would have loved to put on this list but I didn't was Twice's Double. Now, as you know, Twice's Double can literally allow him to create an entire army of quirk quirk he uses. He can create an entire army out of his body doubles, and each body double will be able to use the quirk of any body he has measured. So that's pretty insane because Quirks can literally take over an entire country by himself. But he wasn't in this list because the durability of his creations are really low. So even just the basic hero can take them out. This is why Twice isn't included in this list. Alright guys, thanks for watching the video. Had a lot of fun making it. Let me know if there is any quirk you think I should have included in this list, or if you agree with any of the points I made about the quirks on this list. Put it down in the comments below. I already know I'm gonna get a bunch of people calling me a dumbass in the comments. Please be nice. Thank you for watching. Leave a like too if you enjoyed the video. Thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.